Coach Kreis, when you took the New York City FC job, I think a lot of people were saying, he's going to go a year without coaching? You haven't coached now in so many months. Are you losing it?
Am I losing it? Losing my mind, maybe. Yeah, it's been difficult. Going into it, it was really a big consideration for why I decided to move and take this opportunity, because I felt a little bit burnt out, and I felt like it would be a really good time to step away from the game. On a day in and day out basis, it can be a grind. And playing 11 years in a row and then walking right into a coaching job for 7 years, I really just didn't feel like I'd ever had a break from the game. So I looked very forward to it, and now I'm done with it. But unfortunately, I've got another 4 months until I can be out there again with the team on a training field every single day, and I'm looking very much forward to that.
You made out with what was your first preference, which was the allocation draft, #1 pick there. A lot of people are going to wonder, oh, Josie Altidore, that means he's a target. He's coming back to New York. Why is the allocation order so important to New York City FC?
Well, it's important because we feel like there are some players out there that we're very, very interested in. And we think that that's the only place to be in if you want to have serious conversations about those guys coming back or coming to the league. And so we feel that's an important area for us to improve our team in a major way. And it's something I think that Claudia and I both value very highly. So we'll get after it now and see if we can't sort that out between now and January.
Compared to years past, do you feel like the contingent of U.S. national teamers overseas is as strong as it's been? Because when I look at it, I think with all the guys that have moved here in MLS, it's kind of, not eroded, but there are fewer real established options. Am I wrong on that? What's your feeling in terms of the European contingent?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you even look just 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, you'd have to say that the number of really, really high quality players, American players that were playing in Europe was higher. And now some have come back to the league, so yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a simple math problem, I think. But there's still some very, very interesting ones there that we're interested in.
Orlando took the #1 pick in the expansion draft. When it comes to the expansion draft and New York City FC, I think a lot of people are going to say Jason Kreis is going to go after players he knows at RSL. He's going to raid RSL.
Well, fortunately or unfortunately, the system is designed with some really good ideas in mind. The fact that the teams are allowed to protect 11 players, the fact that the homegrown players are automatically protected, the GA players are automatically protected, means that the teams that have been going at this for a while now and have built very strong teams are going to stay, for the most part, very strong. So it's not as easy as that. And I certainly would like it to be a lot easier now that I'm sitting on this side of the table, but I understand it from a league perspective, and I understand it from an overall perspective of why these decisions have been made the way they have. So I think expansion draft will be extremely important. I also agree with what Adrian was saying, in that those players that have been around the league for a while now, the veteran type players, the late 20s to early 30s, those guys are extremely important to building successful teams. And so we need to take a real hard look at that, who's available, and make wise decisions there.
Your philosophy and how you built your team in Salt Lake, now that you've spent several months with New York City FC, has that philosophy been modified in certain ways? Have you found it to be modified in terms of what generally you're looking for in a player, or do you think you'll follow the same sort of lines?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I think that's an interesting question, because I think it feels to me like a bit of a two-way street. I think it's a big part of why I was hired by the folks at City, and that I appreciated the same qualities that they were already instituting over at Manchester City. They've had some players leave there over the past several years that were extremely high quality players, and they left for one reason: because they weren't good team people, they weren't good characters, they weren't the right people to build the highest successful team and club with there in the Premiership. And I think that the two-way street is that I felt the same way. I wouldn't have taken this opportunity, this job, if somebody wanted me to completely do things differently and build a team in a different way that I wasn't comfortable with. So their interests and my interests, I think, align perfectly.
In Salt Lake, you had homegrown players. The academy set up there allowed you to really start to tap into it. The team is doing it even more now. At New York City FC, where is the academy set up right now in terms of its structure? And when do you hope you can one day now start to sign homegrown players from there?
Yeah, I think the first thing for us to say is that it is extremely important to us. We recognize and appreciate and respect how important those players can be for us. We take it very seriously. We're already, plans are already in place and things are already happening. We have 8 affiliate clubs. Miles and myself have been out training each of these clubs over this fall, and we'll continue to do that. So we're identifying some of the talent and looking at it, and we have plans in place to turn this into a full-blown academy here in short order. So it's a serious area for development, and a serious area that we see is going to be necessary for us to be a major player in this league going forward.